jump scare of Cody. He is self-filming in the car, and like, I know what show I turned on. I knew he would be on my screen eventually, but out loud I said, Jesus Christ, when he popped up on my screen. The man just scares me sometimes. Also, he is fully driving one-handed, filming himself and picture of Christine and David. I don't know, maybe I'm being a little nitpicky here, but it was a very odd editing choice. Christine let it all out there about her polygamy background, and David was like, oh yeah, my sisters practice polygamy. And she was like, do you want to live polygamy? And he's like, oh god, no. And Christine was very relieved. She said that she was so nervous she didn't sleep Janelle says to Gabe, he's really set in this. I was just trying to do what's best for the family. And Gabe says he doesn't buy it, and then says, this isn't a popular opinion in the family, but I think that Cody was doing right for the family members that he chose to be with, and not the whole family. I want to know why he thinks that's an unpopular opinion in the family. Spill the tea, babe. I need to know, because that is a very popular opinion with everyone else in the world. Cody says he was just trying to keep his family safe, and when he got sick with COVID, he saw the Grim Reaper. Cody barely had a fever. He had some achy muscles. His poor trapezius muscles, oh my god. You would think that this man was in the hospital on a ventilator, but no. So don't sit here and say that all those rules that you made up for your family were because you were trying to protect everyone. You didn't want to go to Janelle's house because her boys still had to go to work, but you had a full-ass nanny coming into your house, someone who wasn't even family. Janelle says that her children have been expressing that COVID presented an opportunity for Cody to do it. He's always wanted to do life with and just live with his favorite wife. Janelle says that Cody was expressing to the kids that he wishes he would have just waited to marry Robin. Cody, of course, denies this. He says it was a misunderstanding that's become gossip, like the game of telephone. He does not elaborate on what was actually said, though, so I'm gonna go ahead and believe Janelle and her children in this instance. We're hopping over to Mary now. She started the release process with the church. She texted Cody to let him know, and he ignored her messages. So the church leader calls Cody to let him know. We gave emotional. Savannah says that her brothers will be the one to walk her down the aisle when she gets married. God. Honestly, thank God Savannah has everybody else in her family who cares about her, because Cody is such a piece of shit. Janelle asks Gabe what he thinks about the narrative that Cody said everyone treats Robin badly. Gabriel says Robin definitely has a victim complex. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. He says that he really doesn't blame her for that because it could basically be a coping mechanism for her. He says that he really misses Robin's kids, but he doesn't blame them for obviously picking their parents' side. Gabe says if she believes that we were mistreating her or her children when Dad was favoring her, there is no chance of me having a relationship with Robin ever again. Cody says Robin has always strongly supported the relationships in the family, and that her last 2 conversations with Janelle were her begging Janelle to have a relationship with her. Why would Janelle want to have a relationship with you when she is no longer with Cody? There is no reason for it. Then Cody calls Janelle a relationship coward, and that's funny because I feel like I could call Cody the same thing. Gabe says he doesn't have a lot of respect for Robin, and that's why he has a hard time rationalizing her actions, and maybe that's why she thinks they all hate her, because they don't respect her anymore. Gabe She says, I love my kids, so I need to make sure they all still have a holiday that's special and sweet. She says, it just hit me so hard that I just don't get to have the perfect Christmas. Fuck off, Robin. Do you not care what anybody else thinks? Do you think that Gabe's perfect Christmas would be spending it with you? No. Do you think Truly wants to spend Christmas with you? No. I get that you were sold a bill of goods with this family, but like Cody said, it's over. You need to move on. It's not very often that I agree with this man, but you have your kids that love you, and a husband that worships the ground you walk on, and a gigantic house full of all your fucking knickknacks. But oh, you don't get to have the perfect Christmas. Now we see some memories of Christmas past and everyone reminiscing. Janelle and Christine say it's time to make new memories and traditions. I just heard a weird noise. It's time to make new memories and traditions with nothing to do with how things used to be and everything to do with how you want them to be. Cody says for now his prayer is just save me and Robin. Fuck those kids, right? He says this has put a real big strain